All right, salute y'all. I did not think I was coming back in here. I was going to take a lunch break. Then I got some breaking news. So y'all know when I get breaking news, I'm pulling up. So make sure that you guys have y'all notifications on. Make sure that notification bell says all. Make sure you have it on and it says all. That way you guys will get all the notifications whenever I release video content on this YouTube channel. As y'all come in here, man. Salute to everybody. And make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast show. Appreciate all the subscribers. Make sure you guys go get a paid subscription. It only costs you $1 to get in the door. And at the end of each month, we will be giving away prizes to the subscribers on the podcast show. But let's get right into this, man. Sean Diddy Combs, the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. It is now being reported that he is currently contemplating whether he is going to grant clemency to Sean P. Diddy Combs. Again, salute to everybody that's in the building. At first, everybody thought this issue was done when Trump said that he was not going to grant Diddy any type of pardon and any of these things. People thought this was over with. But Donald Trump, obviously, his ties with Diddy may run very deep because this issue, according to reports, is right back on the table right now. And we're going to talk about this right now. So y'all like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to get into this story right now. As Donald Trump, as you guys can see right here on your screen, is weighing clemency for Sean Diddy Combs right now to release him. Now, everybody was wondering, why did Cassie get up and leave out the country so quick? Maybe Cassie got a whiff that this might be coming down. You never know. You never, ever, 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 ever know. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the things where this is going to get real tricky because there's a lot of things surrounding Diddy that's going on right now. A lot of things. You better believe Donald Trump hears all the noise. Now, as y'all see right here, it says that President Trump is poised to pardon a slate of people convicted of emissions and clean air related violations and is still discussing other potential acts of clemency, including for Sean Diddy Combs or several other well-known figures, according to sources familiar with his plans. The president was scheduled to have a meeting today, this afternoon, on the topic of pardons and plan to decide based on recommendations from advisors, two of the sources said. Lobbying for pardons where people in legal trouble has reached a fever pitch in recent weeks, but neither Diddy nor other high-profile cases were expected to be on the recommendations list from the pardons team, one of the sources has said. But Combs is serving a sentence of just over 4 years at the federal prison in Fort Dix, New Jersey, after he was convicted last year of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. He was acquitted on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy, which were the more serious, I should say, charges against him. Trump had not commented this morning to a firm number of people who will receive clemency. He has been privately discussing whether to grant requests, including from Diddy. Now, Donald Trump is the ultimate decider on any clemency related actions, a White House official told CBS News in a statement. The president told the New York Times in January that Combs had written a letter to him to ask for a pardon, but said he was not considering the request. Another person seeking a pardon is Grammy Award-winning Michael Price of the Fugees hip-hop group. Michael is currently in prison, federal prison, serving a 14-year sentence after he was convicted of criminal charges that he conspired with Malaysian financier Johor Low to orchestrate a series of foreign lobbying campaigns aimed at influencing the United States government under 2 presidents. Low is accused by the U.S. of embezzling $4.5 billion from Malaysia's 1MDB sovereign wealth fund. Several sources familiar with the matter told CBS News Low is also seeking a pardon as well. Trump had not decided whether to pardon Michael or Low, or had not decided whether Michael or Pratt or Lowe should receive clemency one of the sources said. Friday list from the pardons team was expected to be exclusively related to Clean Air Act violations. Last year, Trump pardoned Wyoming mechanic Troy Lake, who served 7 months in prison for violating federal emissions laws for disabling air pollution control equipment on diesel engines. Y'all smash the like button. Let's get back to the Diddy situation, right? Let's go back up here to this because they're talking about it right here. So let's get right into it. Hold on, you guys.
House. Sources tell CBS News. Breaking news coming to us from the White House. Sources tell CBS News. President Trump is considering a pardon for Sean Diddy Combs. The music mogul is currently serving a sentence of just over 4 years in federal prison. You'll remember he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution last year. We've also learned the president is likely to pardon some pollution violators. All this is fresh information from our team. So let's jump to CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi, who's on the north lawn of the White House for us today. Olivia, good morning. What can you tell us about these potential pardons and who may be among them?
Hey, Errol, good afternoon. It's good to be with you. Yeah, President Trump is actually having a meeting today in the White House behind me where he will be discussing a slate of potential pardons. And CBS News has learned that one potential name that has been coming up is Sean Diddy Combs. We're told the president has not made a decision yet on whether or not to pardon Combs for those crimes, but it is something he is considering. Some of the other pardons they are thinking about are people who were convicted of emissions and clean air related violations. There has been a flurry of activity in the last several weeks of people lobbying for those pardons. The president had even potentially discussed doing several hundred pardons around the birthday of the U.S., of course, that 250th anniversary, which we are all celebrating today and tomorrow. But still no word yet on whether he has made the ultimate decision to pardon Combs. Of course, that was a very high-profile case, would certainly be a controversial pardon as well, given the fact that trial was such a high-level trial related to the treatment of women in Combs' life. So we are watching to see, but at this point we are told that the president has not made a decision. He is only considering that at this point.
All right, President Trump considering a slew of pardons for people, including potentially Sean Diddy Combs. Really interesting reporting there. I know we're also learning more about the potential tax payments the president might now have to face over his crypto earnings, which earlier this week we learned were well into the billions. What do we know about this?
Yeah, we actually found out it was about $1.4 billion that the president earned last year on crypto alone. That's his World Liberty Financial Crypto Forum, in which the president has traded a variety of coins, or people related to the president have done that as well. The president has defended that, saying several times that people manage his money, he doesn't manage his money, and that his sons are the ones who are managing that organization. So he has been defending it. But the question really is the taxes that the president could owe on those earnings. You know, given the fact that he could potentially have to pay at least $250 million by some estimates, it could be over $500 million if he were to be taxed at that 37% statutory rate. That's that minimum rate that someone making over a certain number, certain income would have to pay. So there's questions around that about what the president would owe for his taxes on crypto. But again, he has been defending these trades through his crypto forum, saying that he was unaware of them. Take a listen to what he said here during an interview with CNBC yesterday.
I could know about it. I didn't.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing illegal. There's nothing wrong with it. I could know.
There's nothing illegal there. Also, I want to note we are here at the White House where there are a lot of flyovers happening. I think that's what you're hearing behind me right now, Errol. It has been pretty much nonstop here, but there you heard the president defending that decision.
Yeah, so for you guys who just got in here, again, they're saying right now Donald Trump is in a meeting and he is considering clemency for Sean P. Diddy Combs. He is considering granting clemency for Diddy Combs. If you guys remember Diddy, and we're going to talk about this in just a second, y'all smash the like button, share this video, like the video. I know y'all didn't think I was going to come right back in here, but that's how I do. Whenever we get breaking news, we coming right here with it first. Again, y'all smash the like button and share the video and come on up in here, man. Again, it's being reported all over the news, CBS, everywhere, that Donald Trump is right now in a meeting considering granting clemency for Sean Diddy Combs and also Praz, of the Fugees music group has asked for a pardon from President Donald Trump. So let's see what your president does.
From the White House. Sources tell CBS News President Trump is considering a pardon for Sean Diddy Combs. The music mogul is currently serving a sentence of just over 4 years in federal prison. You'll remember he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution last year. We've also learned the president is likely to pardon some pollution violators. All this is fresh information from our team. So let's jump to CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi, who's on the north lawn of the White House for us today. Olivia, good morning. What can you tell us about these potential pardons and who may be among them?
Hey, Errol, good afternoon. It's good to be with you. Yeah, President Trump is actually having a meeting today in the White House behind me where he will be discussing a slate of potential pardons. And CBS News has learned that one potential name that has been coming up is Sean Diddy Combs. We're told the president has not made a decision yet on whether or not to pardon Combs for those crimes, but it is something he is considering. Some of the other pardons they are thinking about are people who were convicted of emissions and clean air related violations. There has been a flurry of activity in the last several weeks of people lobbying for those pardons. The president had even potentially discussed doing several hundred pardons around the birthday of the U.S., of course, that 250th anniversary, which we are all celebrating today and tomorrow. But still no word yet on whether he has made the ultimate decision to pardon Combs. Of course, that was a very high-profile case, would certainly be a controversial pardon as well, given the fact that trial was such a high-level trial related to the treatment of women in Combs' life. So we are watching to see, but at this point we are told that the president has not made a decision. He is only considering that at this point.
All right.
Well, so for you guys who don't know what was going on, let me go ahead and break this down to y'all real quick. And this was the as Diddy, he is still incarcerated right now at Fort Dixon, New Jersey correctional facility. Right now, Diddy had a 3-judge appellate panel. Right now, that panel is currently deciding still whether or not to overturn Diddy's conviction. And remember, Diddy had this a while back. So basically, on April the 9th of this year, the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Manhattan heard 2 hours of highly anticipated oral arguments, you guys, from both sides. Now, the panel did not issue an immediate ruling, with Circuit Judge William J. Nardini designating it to an exceptionally difficult case that raises legal questions of first impression for federal courts nationwide, right? And so they're torn over this, right? This is the thing. Diddy's case is so crazy, and I want to show y'all. Hey, put this on the screen. Put that on the screen right now. Diddy's case is so crazy that they're saying that the appeal court was torn over his bid, over that bid. Y'all see it right there. They were torn over that, right? Try to show it to y'all, right? So basically, yeah. The panel did not issue an immediate ruling, as I told y'all, right? And so the core elements of that appeal, you guys, that Diddy had was a 13th juror argument led by appellate attorney Alexander Shapiro. Now, she basically argued that U.S. District Judge Armed Submarinian had improperly acted as a 13th juror, and they claim that he factored in evidence of domestic violence, fraud, and coercion elements tied directly to heavy racketeering and sex trafficking charges that the jury acquitted Diddy of in July of 2025. Now, she also claimed that the 50-month, 4-year, 2 months sentence is, is draconian and unprecedented. And the defense notes that typical federal sentences for the Similar Man Act prostitution violations average closer to 15 months in prison. Now, in written briefs, the defense attempted a unique angle, arguing the conviction should be tossed because the film freak-offs were highly choreographed, non-commercial performances meant for amateur, XXX videos, which they claim is protected in free speech. And so this argument was not explicitly debated during the April oral arguments, you guys. So Assistant U.S. Attorney for the government, Christy Slavic, she fiercely defended the sentence, and the prosecution argued that the judges have a statutory duty to consider a defendant's basically holistic background and his character, emphasizing that the history of abuse directly overlapped with how the prostitution offenses were executed. Now, as the appeal courts continue to deliberate, Diddy has managed to knock off some time off of his prison sentence. Now, the 3-judge appellate panel final decision is expected to take several months to be handed down. And I told y'all this from the beginning. They don't just come out with those decisions like that. These appeal decisions take a long time. Diddy got his process expedited to where he got into court, but they take a long time to come back with the decisions. Now, in June of this year, last month, the federal bureaus, they adjusted his projected release date to February the 23rd, 2028. That moved his timeline up a few months from April 2028, right? Now, so this is the situation now. The appellate decision to see whether he gets an appeal or not is expected to be released later this year. So that could be late this year where they release in writing whether or not Diddy won his appeal or lost his appeal. And so this could, if he wins his appeal, result in a complete reversal, a mandatory resentencing, or upholding of the 50-month term that Diddy is on. So that's what he's facing right now. Also, Diddy has other situations going on. He's got a potential showdown in Los Angeles County with the district attorney's office, and they're officially reviewing, you guys. They're officially reviewing criminal sexual assault allegations against Diddy, right? And so he, if they decide to move forward, it could result in a completely new criminal indictment against Diddy and a second trial while he's still serving his current federal prison sentence. That's why this clemency or pardon is very important for Diddy, because that would knock off his prior history, right? It would knock off any priors for him if he was to get any other cases going forward, you know? So basically the criminal probe, it involved 2 separate investigations, basically, you know what I'm saying? Regarding a single victim that were presented to the office of the LA District Attorney, Nathan Hodgman, right? Now, that case centered around accusations from former Rihanna publicist and producer Jonathan Hay. He's a Florida-based music producer, and he's a publicist, I told y'all. And he was previously identified as a John Doe in a prior civil lawsuit against Diddy. And y'all already know what he claimed. He basically claimed that Diddy sexually battered and held him against his will during 2 separate incidents that took place in Los Angeles between 2020 and 2021. He originally filed a police report in Largo, Florida in September of 2025 because the alleged incidents happened in Los Angeles. The case was transferred. Both the Los Angeles Police Department and the LA Sheriff's Department, LASD, conducted investigations and submitted their findings to the district attorney. Now, Diddy's legal team has strongly denied these claims, calling them meritless, fake, and defamatory, right? And so beyond that, Diddy's legal exposure in California expanded with a new civil lawsuit, you guys. So basically that child actor came out, and then it's just a whole bunch of stuff, man. But if Donald Trump goes forward, they're meeting about it right now. If he decides to grant Diddy clemency or give Diddy a pardon, see, Diddy would need a pardon. The clemency, what he could do is he could commute his sentence, which means I don't erase this from your record, but you can get out now. You know what I'm saying? Or what Trump can do is just give him a full pardon and wipe off everything from Diddy's record. You know what I mean? He could do that today, right now. And so they're saying he's back in there. Apparently they have not stopped, you know what I'm saying, going after this pardon.
Is coming to us from the White House. Sources tell CBS News President Trump is considering a pardon for Sean Diddy Combs. The music mogul is currently serving a sentence of just over 4 years in federal prison. You'll remember he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution last year. We've also learned the president is likely to pardon some pollution violators. All this is fresh information from our team. So let's jump to CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi, who's on the north lawn of the White House for us today. Olivia, good morning. What can you tell us about these potential pardons and who may be among them?
Hey, Errol, good afternoon. It's good to be with you. Yeah, President Trump is actually having a meeting today in the White House behind me where he will be discussing a slate of potential pardons. And CBS News has learned that one potential name that has been coming up is Sean Diddy Combs. We're told the president has not made a decision yet on whether or not to pardon Combs for those crimes, but it is something he is considering. Some of the other pardons they are thinking about are people who were convicted of emissions and clean air related violations. There has been a flurry of activity in the last several weeks of people lobbying for those pardons. The president had even potentially discussed doing several hundred pardons around the birthday of the U.S., of course, that 250th anniversary, which we are all celebrating today and tomorrow. But still no word yet on whether he has made the ultimate decision to pardon Combs. Of course, that was a very high-profile case, would certainly be a controversial pardon as well, given the fact that trial was such a high-level trial related to the treatment of women in Combs' life. So we are watching to see, but at this point we are told that the president has not made a decision. He is only considering that at this point.
All right, President Trump considering a slew of pardons for people, including potentially Sean Diddy Combs. Really interesting reporting there.
Yeah, so this is a situation that's going on, you guys. And yeah, most definitely. So you guys are all seeing how this thing is panning and playing out, you guys. It's all coming, it's all coming to where we, y'all already know what's up, right? So most definitely, salute to everybody that's in the building. So we'll see how this pans out. We'll see what happens. But this is definitely something that's real. This is being reported all over CBS, all over the news right now. The girls right there at the White House, on the White House lawn. And so we will see, right? You guys let me know what y'all think. Salute to everybody that's tapped in. Y'all share the video, like the video, man. Get the subscribers up, man. And I appreciate all you guys for tapping on in. I'll be back later on tonight. Make sure y'all check our normal video content for video uploads that we'll have throughout the day until I come back on later on, unless it's some breaking news that I got to come on immediately. Gone. Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video.